some of the wax here. So heat that up. I'm going to remove more than I want to, more than I think I need to. Possibly all the way down to the record base, right? So I'm going to be careful not to have wax drip on myself, but right at the midline, all the way down, and same thing here. I'm just going to remove that part, and I'm right at the midline, right? So looks like that. See it? Right. Okay, so now that I have this, I need to put a tooth in there. We probably have a space for more than just one tooth, but let's just put one for now. Now the way I do this, and that I think is probably the thing you'll use most in this exercise, is I'll do this little wax ball, right? So you want to heat up your wax, a sheet of wax, to the point where it's as soft as a fruit roll-up. Assume everyone knows what a fruit roll-up is. If you don't, like, you have issues. But anyway, so we're gonna squish it together. I know it looks messy, it looks like it's not supposed to look like that, but just give it some time. It will eventually come together. It's like a teenager. Alright, so the advantage here is that now we've got a nice homogeneously heated up ball of wax that actually stays warm for a long time. Now, I'm going to take just a little piece of this, alright? I'm going to stick it right in here. Does that make sense? I'm going to keep my ball right there. And then we're going to take the corresponding tooth, take it out of here, and I'm just going to stick it right where I need it to be. Right there. Right? I'm going to squish it down right next to that midline, and that excess wax I can just pull off right there. And I'm going to get the plate, make sure that's lined up correctly, just like that, right? So you could do this with every other tooth as well. Just set it. I'm going to create some more space here, right there. Oh, move that first tooth, move that entire segment. That's fine. Roll with it. So make sure that's stable. And then because that wax is going to stay soft for a while, I can reposition that if it ever moved. So repositioned, back in place. All right, now let's place our lateral. So again, I'm going to take another piece that stays soft, so that's nice, and we're going to squish that right in here, and we're going to take that lateral and put it down right where we need it to be, right next to that central incisor. And if you look at it, we need it to be, the central needs to be right on the plate. Right now we've got a little bit of a space, so I'm going to go up above it and just push it down. And of course we have a hole there, but because our wax is soft, I can just smush it, right? And it'll heal itself, so that's nice. And that lateral needs to be a little higher up, so I'm going to just push it up just a tiny bit, like that, and check that again. You can see it's slightly off the plate, so that's what you want. All right, now for the canine, again, same thing. I'm going to heat that up here. So we're going just one tooth at a time, which is fine. We could also do more than that, and I'll show you on the other side where we can place like all the teeth at once and then play with them just like Play-Doh. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to know where you want to end up, but it's faster, so if you want to do that. So place a little bit of wax here. Yeah, canine's just a little harder to come off, but I'm going to put that right there. And again, excess of wax, I'm just going to squeeze off just like that. And align that canine where it needs to be. And the central is just a little off, see, it's not very very straight, so I'm going to align it. Again, the biggest advantage here is that I can still modify these teeth as I go, right? So they're all on the plate except the lateral, which is what we want, so that's good. All right, say we really don't have time for all this. We really want to set this real quick. Still do that. You won't have a lot of guidance though, so you'll have to eyeball the symmetry, but we could definitely do that. So I'm going to take off about the same distance from the midline on the other side. Just take out all the wax on this side. Now we're going to be a little careful because we don't want to move our teeth that are like the existing teeth. So I'm going to be a little bit careful here. So try not to move things around. But remove that. So see here that person probably used the block to put this, and this is one of the disadvantages of the block, how floppy it is. It comes off. So you know, the other technique with just the sheets of wax adapted is probably better, but that's not the time for that, so let's keep on. So again, my wax ball is still soft, so that's nice. I'm going to take that, a bigger piece, and I'm going to put it right in here. Just one big piece, right there. And we're going to just put those teeth right in here. And there's some wax right next to that central. I'm going to scrape it off so that we got a nice contact between our two central incisors. You see what I'm doing here? And I'm going to put it right next to that central incisor right here. Okay. And then the second one, lateral incisor, push it right next to it here. And finally, canine, and squish it right next to that lateral incisor. And so I've got them all set. Now I've got to play with them until they're organized. So I'm going to look at that. That central is a little higher up, canine as well. So I'm going to just push them down a little bit. So I'm going to come up from here, push the wax down. And that lateral looks like it's going a little too far back, so I'm going to scoot it up a little bit here, push that canine there, and all right, that looks like we've got a good arrangement, more or less. Well, we can still work on that more, but I think we can start to clean this up. So I'm going to flip my record base, so the wax that I melt is not going to go up onto the teeth, which is going to cost us a lot more work than we need to do. So I'm just going to flip it over so any excess wax will drip off this side. And I'm just going to melt a bunch of that wax that's on top. So let's heat this up quite a bit. These Bunsen burners do a good job of heating things up. So we're almost red hot at this point. So it's pretty hot. So I'm going to go over this and just blend it all together, right? And we'll do the same thing on the lingual side. So heating it up until it's about red hot, and we're going to go in. We're almost cutting that off at this point. Remember, the wax is still soft, so you can push the teeth if you're pushing too hard. So I'm just resting it on the wax. There. That's that gone. That's nice. So we've got a nice setup right now, and we can scrape out some of the excess wax here. Right. And we can festoon. So let's check our teeth again. Looks like we got that where we need to. The canines on the plate, and our centrals aren't. This one isn't really on the plate as much as I'd like it to be, so I'm just going to push it down. Again, our wax is still soft, so we can keep moving this around. We can try to make that a little bit more symmetrical, just play around with it if you need to. So that's all good. Now let's check how that looks like over here. So it needs to be closer. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little too far away from the lower. There needs to be like 2 to 3 millimeters or something. So I'm going to try to push that back, which is fine. So while maintaining it its position on the plate. So I'm gonna keep it on the plate and get my fingers, and I'm gonna push it back a little bit. Again, the wax is all soft, so that should move back for me right there. You see that? So more pressure has been put onto the centrals, so I'm gonna put a little bit more pressure on these canines and then check again and make sure that my teeth are still on the plate. So there we go, that's still there. You might have variable results when you do this, but the nice thing is that the wax is soft, so you can always just move it around and place it back where you need it. All right, so let's put that back here. You can see we're a little closer now. You can still go a little further in. So push that back and push the lateral up just a little bit. All right. Okay, so that's about where we need to be. Now, let's go. Do you guys want to see festooning, or you want to do this? And all right, let's just do the festooning. So, for festooning and mod light, you need to carve some wax off. So we're going to carve some of that excess off for now. I'll do maybe this side. I'm thinking we probably should end the video here, and then we'll do the festooning on the other one.